Hello and welcome to CBFU From the Shop, recording at Manifest Comics in Bayonne, New Jersey. I'm Sam.
I'm Isaac.
And Frey is not here.
No, he's not.
I don't know why. He didn't give an excuse. He just said, I think I'm not going to make it today, guys.
Yeah.
That's a good Frey, right?
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
And then you got into a GIF off.
Yeah, we did. But we made up.
And it was weird.
Fine. But anyway, we got books today.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. So,
it's December 6th. Did you say
it's December 6th? It's the first week of December.
It is. Merry Christmas,
So, Merry
y'all.
Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. We can say Merry Christmas again.
Uh-huh.
So, we got that. We won. We beat those people who said you can't say Merry Christmas anymore.
None of that happy holidays bullshit.
Nah, garbage. Garbage. I don't care what you celebrate. Merry Christmas. Every day this month.
Mm-hmm.
December 6th, Merry Christmas.
And you know February used to be Black History Month?
Yeah.
Now it's Christmas month.
It's all Christmas, all year round. But anyway, that's politics, and this is comics. So you want to start it up?
Sure. I'll start. The first book we're going to review this week is Justice League number 34. This starts the new creative team of Christopher Priest and Pete Woods on art. It's also got the new little DC trade dress, which is pretty cool. They used to, until now they were like the DC Rebirth, but now they have this nice little new trade dress, which is a little Hickman-esque, I thought.
It's a nice dress.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it?
a nice dress. First of all, let me first say, since Rebirth has started, Justice League has been one of the books I've been disappointed in. Yeah. Because they announced all these great creative teams, and then the one Justice League book was just Brian Hitch as a writer, and I like Brian Hitch's art, and he's not a bad writer. It's just for their flagship book, I wanted something more. Yeah. And then they said there was going to be another Justice League book, Justice League of America. And I said, "Ooh, that's gonna be Jeff Johns. That's gonna be Jonathan Hickman. It's gonna be something." Yeah, and then it was Steve Orlando, and I'm not a big fan of him. No. So this is the start of a new creative team, and Christopher Priest has done some interesting stuff. He's worked on Black Panther for Marvel. He's worked on what's the book of DC Rebirth? Deadshot. Deadshot he did, and Deadshot started really good, and then I lost interest. Deathstroke, and then I lost interest in it. I'm very stupid. But this is a good start. First of all, it's much better than the Hitch and Orlando books. It's a little street level JLA, I would say. It's not like big threat so far.
They're in space.
That's true.
Oh, so it's not just street level.
Yeah, no. The art reminded me.
Streets of space.
The art reminded me of the
Streets ahead.
the artist of Flash. Carmine.
Giuseppe Camincioli.
Yes, that's his name.
Carmine.
Some of the double page. I don't know. Yeah, some of the double page spreads are better than some of the close ups. Like some of the face, they're a little weird. Yeah. But on the other hand, I like this double page spread of the sci-fi action. Mm-hmm. So I liked it. I thought it was a good first issue for this arc. It had me interested in coming back to see where it goes from here, and it's definitely a much better start than the last JLA book.
Yeah, it's right. It's nothing special. It's a Justice League story. It nothing stands out about it to me. Either way, it's not good. It's not great. It's not terrible. The art's fine. It's passable. It's just nothing, great. I wonder why Batman is acting the way he is in this. There's no real explanation for it. Yeah, he's just tired. I've never seen Batman tired.
Well, he is in a lot of books.
He's in a lot of books right now. He's engaged. He's got metal going on. So I can understand. Maybe that's the reason. Yeah. They can explain. If Chris Priest comes back in an issue or two and he's like, "Look, I just went through metal. I got engaged. Did all this stuff. I met my dad a while back, and he said, I don't want you to be Batman."
I'm not sleeping at all. I have Damien as a kid, and that's just...
I would be tired too. Yeah. But it's all right. What would you give it?
Well, I give it 6 out of 10 Lugos, I think.
That's all right.
It's not great, but it's a good start and much better than what came before.
All right, so next book, we'll continue with Batman. It's Batman TMNT Part 2. It's by the same team that did the first one, not to be confused with the animated crossover, because they did this one, which is the comic book versions, then they did the animated one, and now they're doing this again. It's James Tynion and Freddie Williams. And it picks up pretty soon after the last one. They said it's a couple weeks later. What threw me a little bit was it doesn't follow what's happening in the TMNT book, where it's what's been happening in the TMNT book for a while. There's a lot of stuff that happened around, I think, issue 50, I'm not sure, when with Splinter and the Foot Clan, and that follows none of that, so that threw me a little bit. But it's good. If you can ignore that, it's a good book. It's fun. He gets the characters. Splinter has some good lines I enjoyed, and it's a good start. But it's not as strong as the first one, and I'm not sure if that's because I'm thrown by the continuity or not. But what do you think?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I don't think it was as strong a start as the first series.
Yeah.
And it is a little
Either
weird because there's some characters that are in the current book.
Yeah.
That are in this book and everything. And it's just it's like, why don't you know who these characters are? I mean, I guess this takes place in the past of that book.
It has to.
But even then,
it has
it's sort of...
to take place before that with Shredder.
I'm not sure. It's a little weird.
Yeah,
it's a little weird.
I'm confused by that, but maybe it's just before and I'm not getting it. But it's, it's still good. It's cool to have good Turtle books again. This is just not as good as the other two started out.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. I would give it 6 out of 10 myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say.
Okay, this is our next book. This is Venom Ink Alpha. This is by Dan Slott and Mike Costa on writing and Ryan Stegman on art. Ryan Stegman is not that great an artist.
He's right.
Yeah, you like him?
He's right. I didn't say that. I said he's right.
I like this. The reveal at the end.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Was that a reveal?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
right?
I guess yeah.
But anyway, it was fun. I could definitely tell the parts like Dan Slott was writing. Because I think he was writing the Spider. This was pretty much writing the Spider-Man
Dan Slott's writing it too. Okay.
Yeah, they're co-writing it.
I wasn't listening to you.
And those parts I just like a little bit better. I'm not a big fan of Flash Thompson not Flash Thompson. Eddie Brock as Venom.
Yeah.
I liked when Flash Thompson was Agent Venom and everything. And I think that's even what they're doing with the movie.
Yeah,
with
it's
Agent
weird.
Venom.
But
so this brings the conflict between Eddie Brock and Flash Thompson to the forefront.
Yeah.
They really haven't met since Flash lost the symbiote and Eddie got it back. And it's pretty good. It's not great, but I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was right. I'm a big fan of Venom, but mainly I think because I grew up in the 90s and 80s and 90s, and I think I'm like that was the cool. Venom was cool, and he was. Those books were cool.
Yeah.
So Eddie Brock was my Venom, and I was happy that he was coming back, but the book has never really been as good as it was when when Agent Venom was going on and Cosmic Venom in space. That was good, but I think that had more to do with the writers than the character. I think if you give Eddie Brock a good writer and I think it could be better. So but I mean, that being said, it's not a bad book. It's it's a cool book. It's interesting to see what they're doing with. They're trying to have their cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
By giving everybody a Venom symbiote.
Well, it's Venom Ink.
Yeah. So everybody.
It's like murdering.
Eddie gets one. Flash Thompson gets one. I think the guy who had it in between them gets one.
Yeah.
I think he's the bad guy. So it's like everybody gets one. It's a little bit less special. But art's okay. I didn't mind it as much as you. I didn't think that was much of a reveal, but it was alright. It was cool. But I can't say I'm excited about it, the crossover, but it wasn't bad.
Yeah, no, I would give it 6 out of 10 again.
6 out of 10. I think we got ourselves a number. Our final book of the week is Top Cow's Witchblade #1. This is a reimagining of the Witchblade. I did not know that. I read the Witchblade that was by Silvestri, and I don't remember who wrote the original Witchblade, but I read that and The Darkness and all that way back when. And so I didn't know if this was a continuation or not, and I kind of read it, the most of it, thinking it was a continuation and wondering how it was, because things were different.
Yeah.
Like, just in general, the idea of it was different. So that kind of colored my reading of it, but knowing that, in hindsight, it's a better book than I thought it was initially. It's different. Like, you have to realize that it's a different take. The Witchblade is like an artifact that gives the person who wears it special powers. And this is about a woman who gets it. She's losing time. She doesn't remember things. The timeline is a little bit iffy for the book. It goes from she's having dreams that she died, and then so I don't know if she forgot that she died or not, and then it happens. And so it jumps around, I think, in time a little bit. That makes it confusing. And I didn't love it. I didn't like it that much, but it's not terrible, but it's not. This one's not for me. This is probably my least favorite of the week. How else to explain it? I read a little bit of the interview in the back. It said it's like a feminist take on Witchblade, because Witchblade was less feminist and more just cheesecake art kind of initially. I mean, it was. I mean, it had a good story too. It was cool, but this kind of lessens that. It didn't pull me in as much as the original Witchblade did when I first read that years ago. It didn't have the art wasn't as good. The art actually reminded me of Pete Wood's art a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little
I
bit.
can see that.
But it's kind of bland. and I didn't get a good sense of the character. There's so many characters. Almost everyone looks alike. You know, there's three blonde women in it. Two have short hair.
One was wearing glasses.
One was wearing glasses. One dies, and I thought it was the other one, but it wasn't the other one.
Yeah.
So it was very confusing. On top of the timeline jumping around, that confused me. So it was a bit of a confusing mess, I would say. But again, it's not terrible, so I wouldn't give it like a bad review. But what would you say?
Yeah, no. I think if it's your first time reading a Witchblade...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. If it's your first time reading a Witchblade book, I think you could... It's a good jumping on point and everything.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the art doesn't make it easy. Because she does look exactly like the woman who was being... There's a woman being abused, and that's the start of the arc. She works for, like, this protective agency who protects women who are being abused. And she looks exactly like this woman who's being abused, except she doesn't have glasses. Or no, she has glasses.
She has long hair. The maid has short hair and blonde hair, and the woman has blonde hair.
Yeah.
Short blonde hair.
So it was a little confusing. And they do mention like the artifacts and everything.
Yeah.
And they start like hinting at it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know if it was like necessary to create an all new character.
Yeah,
I guess if they were going for this feminist take, I guess.
If you did, like, if you had a story to tell with this character, maybe create something original. You know, instead of being, like, weighed down by, like, Top Cow's 25 years old. And I think Witchblade was probably one of the first Top Cow books. One of them. Maybe not. So, it doesn't matter. Cyberforce is probably the first. But it's weighed down by all that history. Why do that when you can just create a new thing? Because, like, the artifact doesn't even resemble... It's like it's in the thing. It was like a claw, that could like spread. It was a little bit like Venom kind of thing. It was a symbiote. This is like a bracelet and like just has like dark mist.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing in this book that inherently needs to be Witchblade.
No,
it's just a title
I think it hurts it. The fact that it's called Witchblade. It probably just because of all that history. I think it hurts it. But I mean, it's not. Again, it's not terrible. It's just not what I was expecting. It's not what I would want in a book. I would give it probably 5 out of 10 Lugos, not 6 like the other 3. Again, it was probably the weakest one, but again, it's not bad. They say it's a feminist take on the character. I don't really get the feminist idea except for the fact that they're strong women. Beyond that, and protecting a woman who's being abused, beyond that general idea, I don't really see it yet.
Yeah, maybe as it goes on.
But as it goes on, it might pick up. But yeah, that's it. That's the end of the books for this week.
Where's my Jackie Estacado?
Yeah, The Darkness. That was good. That was good. Yeah. Garth Ennis. That was good. Yeah. There's books coming out, a lot of them. So come to Manifest Comics. Got to get Christmas gifts for all your people this week, and then Christmas gifts next week.
Yes.
So Merry Christmas once again.
We'll probably see them before Christmas.
But I'm saying Merry Christmas every week from now on. As long as I'm on this show, I'm saying Merry Christmas. Frey can take his liberal communist manifesto and he can go back to Cuba with it. All right? He's Cuban. So, Merry Christmas. We got it back, guys. We did it.